Women's groups from across Nigeria are rallying in Abuja, calling on lawmakers to pass the Special Reserved Seats Bill. Arise correspondent Somi Madrogu has details.
Advocates here say women's inclusion in political leadership is not only about fairness, but also about securing Nigeria's future.
What the women are saying is that, well, since you have had so many years, 64 years of being ahead, then let's have affirmative action. Let's have equity. Let us have the special seats bill so that women can be a part of decision making for the nation, and so that our children will also see themselves represented in decision making positions, so that we can make decisions together with our men folk for the movement, for the acceleration of development of Nigeria.
Currently, women hold less than 5% of elected positions in the country, far below global and regional benchmarks. Supporters of the bill argue that change is critical, citing research that nations with stronger female representation enjoy better governance, faster economic growth, and greater social stability.
Whether you believe it or not, the cultural background of where we come from affects the women. Always looking at the men, even when they see, if I vote for a woman, she will do better. But when the husband turns his eyes, they will change. But this time around, I promise you, the women, look at us, we are coming here for this bill because we have seen that when a woman is given this seat, it will complement the men.
We are here because we believe this can make a difference. Nigerian women have never had it this good. That the bill is emerging from the House and there is a lot of energy in the House itself, and we are here today to say women representation is the ultimate. We are not here, it's not a competition. You are not doing women a favor by accepting this, by passing the bill. You can't have a situation where you have 14 houses of assembly, there is not a single woman, and the issues of women are being discussed. Women are dying on the maternity death road. Who knows the pain of labor better than women themselves? These are issues that we must address.
This is the build-up to the national public hearing on the Special and Reserved Seats Bill for Women, as well as other bold legislative proposals. One thing is for certain, Nigeria is on the brink of bold legislative reform. What shape will that change take? Well, the answer lies ahead. Somi Maduagu, Arise News.
What shape will that take, Somi, to discuss more on this? I have with me in the studio Mary Ikoku, the founder of Emerging Women and host of She the People platform. Glad to have you join me, Mary.
Thanks for having me.
What does the Women Bill, known as HB 1349 and SB 440, seek to achieve? What does it even mean?
So HB 1349 and HB being the House bill, and SB being the Senate bill 440. Right. They're all talking about the reserved seat bill. And the reserved seat for women bill is just a bill that seeks to tweak the Constitution, to amend that section of the Constitution to when it comes to election of members of the National Assembly and state houses of assembly. So what that bill seeks to achieve is to create more seats, reserved seats for women. So for instance, you have 3 senatorial districts in every state. So with this bill, you're going to have a 4th seat that will be vied for by women. So 1 in every state plus FCT, bringing it to 37 seats. And also 1 for the House of Representatives, the same thing, 1 seats from each state, plus the FCT, that's 37, 37. 37 in the Senate, 37 women in the House of Representatives. And what this does, and you have 3 for each of the state assembly. So if you're from my kind of state, Abia State, Nigeria, where there is no single woman.
That's God's own state.
Yes, but God loves women. But that state has no single woman in its House of Assembly. You can imagine a house without a woman in it. It's horrible, you know. And Abia is one of the 14 states that has no woman in their houses of assembly. So what this bill seeks to do is to close this gap and shore up the number of women. It's really not enough, but it's a good place to start with closing the gap, the gender gap, and also the historical imbalance that have been there from the world go. So when you close that gap, it doesn't close it enough, but it's better, so that it makes Nigerians, when our legislators go to places like IPU or meet with their colleagues in the Committee of Nations, they are able to, walk with their shoulders high that Nigeria has done something in terms of, upping their game when it comes to issue of inclusivity. Because you also want to run a democracy where everyone is represented. And there is no true democracy in a democracy that excludes over 50% of its population. So this bill would make Nigeria greater. It will cause a lot of development because if you know countries that have told this part, the empirical evidence of how better they've done in dollar terms, like issues of maternal and child death, drastically reduced, and these countries are saving billions of dollars. And when Nigeria implements this, or if we are able to, if the 10th National Assembly is able to pass this bill, we are hoping that they will do that. It will close that historical imbalance.
Yeah. What cost it?
Several things. I mean, a multifaceted combination of things that may have cost it. One is our culture. Even in the National Assembly today, there are some of the members in the Senate, in the House, that have conservative views when it comes to having women in leadership. And that stems from certain cultural and traditional attitudes. Some are also religion, So that is there. And we live in a highly patriarchal society. And patriarchy here, when we talk about patriarchy, oftentimes people think patriarchy is just a man. But here, patriarchy in Nigeria, patriarchy is a system. And so these are, so you need to structurally correct that system. And that's why we're going this way of constitutional amendment. So you solve the problem from the roots, which is making it a legal thing, but albeit in a short term. So it's a short gap measure where you're saying the men retains, or the members who are there now, they retain their
place.
Their place.
It's not like you're reducing them.
You're not reducing them. You're not dragging the seats with them.
Adding to the number of legislators.
Exactly. So it's like you have seats already. You come into the room.
Wouldn't that become unwieldy?
The table is already full and people are already seated. So what we're about to do is to drag in one more seat. So you come to a state, the meeting is round table going on. There's no seat for any woman to sit there, and then you drag one table and one seat and add to the table.
And the woman
That's
occupies
just what,
there.
and a woman occupies. You're just dragging one
Why
extra
did the
seat
previous gender bills fail?
There were a lot of things were said. We didn't lobby enough. We didn't advocate enough. But I tend to have a different opinion about that.
Are you lobbying enough now, advocating enough?
You can see the advocacy is really, is gaining ground, and obviously people, even today's public hearing, reserved seat was on the lips of everyone. Traditional rulers, government, policy makers, everybody knew. Nobody that didn't know about it. It was as if that was the only bill that we came there today.
It was topical.
It was topical. It was, and that is also to say the amount of advocacy that have gone on, and we're going to sustain that advocacy in the sense that, but what is beautiful this time around, what makes this 10th Assembly different, is that it's no longer a time where you are having women sponsoring the bill and begging the men to support them. Now you're having, like in the House of Representatives, you actually have 2 men and other men advocating for the bill. You're having the men championing them, the person of the Deputy Speaker, the Speaker. These are strong he for she's, and that gives a lot of women, you can see the kind of passion, you can see the amount of support that this bill has gathered, and it makes it, people do not even realize that we have other human rights bill before this 10th National Assembly.
What did you people do to get the men to, support it, especially the caliber of the Speaker and the Vice? Because, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's about their personalities.
Okay.
It's the individuals. And I think at this point is to say that women, I take it back to the women, that women really need to do a lot of work in raising their sons. I think both men and the other men in the Senate and the House who are champions of this bill are men who are raised by very strong and credible women. It's the quality of the mothering that they got and the quality of parenting that they have, that they've been raised in a way that they're not afraid, or they're not thinking, I'm competing, I want to be on the table with my sister, with my wife, with my daughter, with my cousins, you know, things like that. Because I see the sincerity of purpose. Yeah. You can see how it's no longer women fighting, it's actually men in the forefront.
Fighting for the women. How will this add? In what specific ways, if you like, will this add to our democracy?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, you have a true democracy, and to the global audience, you look great, you look better, that you're no longer in a bonyopa, that you're no longer, you know, like on the lower rung, where when they mention countries that are not doing well, are running inclusive democracy.
You're taking first from the back.
You're coming first from the back. It's not a good place to be, especially as you are called the giant of Africa. Giants should be seen and known and heard in every ramification, including inclusive democracy. Because there's no true democracy in a democracy that with exclusivity. So,
all right, Mary Ikoku, the founder of Emerge Women and host of She the People platform, I can only wish you and the women the best, and hope that you succeed this time around.
And pray for a bill to be passed.
Yeah, okay, I'll pray.
Good.
All right, you have been watching The World with me, NT Amogo. Please keep it here on Arise News. That from the entire team here in Abuja and around the world. Goodbye and thank you for watching.